political makeup of Kentucky's state house remains the same after this year's election, as the ratio of Republicans to Democrats is unchanged. Still, there will be more than a dozen new legislators filling the House and Senate chambers. Our June Leffler spoke with one of the youngest incoming lawmakers who's already making a name for himself among national conservatives.
Boone County's rural and suburban voters elected T.J. Roberts to the state house, and he has more faith in the Bible and the Constitution than the government.
Government's not always the answer to our problems, and I can particularly think of that. I lost my father to a drug overdose when I was 6 years old. He had his own run-ins in the criminal justice system whenever I was very, very young. And the government programs that were there, they did not help him. They did not resolve his addiction issues. They did not, you can't incarcerate addiction away. And it just showed me that, frankly, faith, family, and freedom is the way that society by and large should be organized.
Roberts promises to mandate and spend less.
When I vote yes on a bill to add more requirements, that is a requirement that is going to be imposed on 4.5 million people. And that is a burden that I take very seriously. And you have to persuade me that this is the only way to do it.
Roberts got into politics early. He joined anti-abortion and Second Amendment efforts in college. That connected him to national conservative figures, including Kyle Rittenhouse, who fatally shot 2 people during turbulent protests in Wisconsin.
Howdy, folks. Kyle Rittenhouse here, and I want to invite you guys out to an event for my good friend T.J. Roberts, who's running for state representative.
Before running for office, Roberts won big when he took Kentucky's Democratic governor to court during the pandemic.
Then on Good Friday, Governor Beshear threatens prosecution notices for people who attend church on Easter Sunday. I thought he was bluffing. I went to church anyway, and after my church service, I find a prosecution notice that tells me to either quarantine for 2 weeks or risk up to a year in jail if I don't follow this order. So I contact an attorney and file a federal lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the order. Fortunately, we win in the Sixth Circuit in a published unanimous decision, making clear that if secular institutions are still open, similar religious institutions are allowed to remain open.
Come January, Roberts says he'll introduce legislation to put any new taxes before the voters. He also wants to crack down on public dollars for political speech, a line he says some public school staff crossed in the run-up to the school choice ballot measure. Roberts is joining a friendly Republican supermajority, but he says leadership needs to make way for new ideas from all members of the General Assembly.
I think every legislator should be able to have a bill that is entitled to a hearing and a vote in a germane committee of their choosing. And if it passes out of that committee, it should be entitled to a vote on the floor of the House. That's not a guarantee that they pass those bills, but it gives every legislator a fair shake. And it also gives the district a good idea of who their legislator is. I think we should be going on the record. We should be telling the people where we stand on these bills, and we should be doing it by voting on those bills.
Barely out of law school and holding a state-elected office, at just 26 years old, this freshman lawmaker has a long runway left in his political career. For Kentucky Edition, I'm June Leffler.
Thank you, June. Roberts filled a seat held by Republican Steve Rawlings. Rawlings left the House to campaign for a seat in the state Senate, which he won. We'll have more freshman lawmaker profiles for you before and during the next legislative session.